student. My name is Swapna Singh and today we are going to discuss about rest of the topic of semi-solid dosage form. So the first category in semi-solid dosage form, that is ointment. Ointments are homogeneous in nature, that are translucent property, and it has viscous semi-solid ointments are viscous semi-solid preparation, and most commonly it is a greasy thick oil. Thick oil in the sense oil, it has 80% and water is 20% in concentration, and it is intended for external application to the skin or mucous membrane. So they are used as emollient, protective, therapeutic, and sometimes prophylactic purpose. Classification of ointment. So three classes are there: epidermic ointment, endodermic ointment, and diadermic ointment. What is epidermic ointment? So epidermic ointments are intended to produce their action on the surface of the skin and produce local effect, so they are not absorbed, and they act as protective, antiseptics, and parasiticides. And next category, that is endodermic ointments. So these ointments are intended to release medicaments that penetrate into the skin, and they are partially absorbed and act as emollient and stimulants and sometimes local irritant. And third class is diadermic ointment. So diadermic ointments are intended to release medicament that passes through the skin and produce systemic effect. That means difference between all these three ointments. First is epidermic ointment. They produce their action on the surface of the skin, or you can say the local effect. And endodermic ointment, they release the medicament and penetrate into the skin, and after that they absorbed, and sometimes it is used as emollient, stimulant, or local irritant. But in diadermic ointment, they show their systemic effect. So these are the difference between epidermic, endodermic, and diadermic ointments. Next one is anatomy of skin. Anatomy of skin is very important in case of semi-solid preparation, because we formulate semi-solid doses form for topical problems. So we need to know about anatomy of skin. So this is the diagram of skin. So there is three layer. First one is epidermis layer, second one is dermis layer, and the third one is subcutaneous layer. So epidermis layer is further classified into five classes. First one is stratum corneum. Stratum corneum, that means the horny layer. Second one is stratum lucidum. Third one is stratum granulosum. Fourth layer, that is stratum spinosum, and the last one is stratum basal. So these these five layers comes under the epidermis layer, and epidermis layer, it have the hair shaft on the surface of epidermis. It also contain opening of sweat duct. And next layer, that is dermis. So in dermis layer, sebaceous glands are present, blood vessels are present, and hair follicles are present. And the third layer, the innermost layer, that is subcutaneous layer, which is also known as hypodermis layer, where adipose tissues are present, and the sweat gland, sweat duct are present in dermis layer. So this is all about the anatomy of skin. Next one is preparation of ointment. So in the preparation of ointment, both on a large and a small scale, ointment are prepared by three general methods. First one is incorporation method, second one is fusion method, and third one is emulsification method. So by these three methods, either it is on a large scale, either it is small scale, we prepare ointment by all these three methods. So the method for the particular preparation, it depends primarily upon the nature of ingredients. Now the first method, that is incorporation method. Incorporation method, in this method, the components of the ointments that are mixed together by various means until a uniform preparation has been attained. So on small scale, the pharmacist may mix all the components, all the ingredients of the ointment in a mortar with a pestle or a spatula, and an ointment slab may be used to rub these ingredients together. This is trituration method. The first step, that is size reduction, because we have all the ingredients with various sizes, so we need to reduce their size and create a uniform size. for all the ingredients. Next one is levigation. Third step, that is mixing with base. We can use various bases. In last lecture we have already discussed about solid bases. So after size reduction, after levigation, all ingredients are mixed with bases. After that, trituration process takes place, and after trituration takes place under mortar and pestle, and after mixing base to produce a final weight, and after that next step, that is homogenization, and at last filling. So this is about incorporation method. Next one is fusion method. So in fusion method, all or some of the components of an ointment that are combined by being melted together and cooled with constant stirring until congealed. That means first of all, the first thing is that in fusion method all the components are weighed, and mostly some or sometimes all components of an ointment, they are combined together, melted together, and after melting cooled with a constant stirring until congealed, and those components not melted are generally added to be congealed mixture as it is being cooled and stirred. So naturally, heat labile substances and sometimes any volatile components that are added in the last, because there is no need to melt heat labile substances and volatile substances. So when the temperature of the mixture is low, at that time we can add heat labile substances and volatile substances, and because this is the reason to prevent this is the reason to prevent the decomposition or volatilization of the components. That's why we add heat labile substances and volatile components at last. That means you can say low temperature. This is the step of fusion method. First, grate all the waxy bases, melt using water bath. After melting, if there is high melting point bases, so first mix low melting point in it, and or if there is no any problem like high melting point, low melting point ingredients, so melt bases together, and dissolve all soluble drugs. After dissolving oil soluble drugs, add small volume of phase and large volume phases, and after cooling, continue the stirring. Soft mass was prepared at 40 degrees Celsius, and after homogenization, filling process takes place. So this is about fusion method. Next method, that is emulsification method. So as per its name, the ointments are prepared as involving melting process as well as emulsification process. That's why it is known as emulsification process. Next is evaluation of topical dosage form. Evaluation, it is very important point in formulation of any dosage form. To check their safety, to check their efficacy, and to check their ingredients, that the preparations we have prepared that are stable or not. So for the evaluation of ointment, the first parameter, that is penetration. Second parameter is rate of release of medicaments. The third parameter, that is absorption of medicament into bloodstream, and the fourth parameter, that is irritant effect. So first we go through the penetration. So weight quantity of the ointment are rubbed over definite area of the skin for a given length of time, and after that unabsorbed ointment is collected from the skin and weighed. So the difference between two weight roughly represent amount of absorbed. So next is rate of release of medicament. So in this parameter, assess rate of release of medicament. A small amount of ointment can be placed on the surface of skin or surface of nutrient agar contained in a petri dish. And after that, if medicament is bactericidal, so agar plate is previously seeded with a suitable organism like as aureus. And after a suitable period of incubation, zone of inhibition is measured and correlated with the rate of release. Third one is absorption of medicament into bloodstream. That means we need to check how much amount of medicaments are absorbed by the bloodstream. So for this parameter, definite amount of ointment should be rubbed through the skin and under standard conditions, and medicaments are estimated in the blood, plasma or urine. So by this process we can check the amount of medicament that is absorbed into bloodstream. Next is irritant effect. So irritant effect can also be judged to a certain extent by injecting ointment into thigh muscles and under the abdominal skin of rats. So after that reactions are noted at interval of 24 hour, 48 hour and 72 hour and 96 hours. So presence of patches on the skin within 2 weeks indicates the irritancy of pressing skin. So these all are the evaluation of ointment. Next is cream. Next category of semi-solid dosage form, that is creams. So creams that are homogeneous in nature, that are homogeneous property, semi-solid in preparation, and it consisting of opaque emulsion which contain lipophilic emulsifying agent. So their consistency, it completely depends on type of emulsion, either it is W by O or O by W, that means water in oil type of emulsion, or O by W, oil in water type of emulsion, and on the nature of solid in the internal phase. So creams are intended for application to the skin or certain mucous membrane for a protective nature, for therapeutic purpose, for prophylactic purposes. Creams are classified into 3 categories. Cream containing microspheres like vitamin A cream, which have which is having 200 to 250 micron microspheres are there. Second one is lamellar phased creams, so liquid paraffin in water emulsion. This is the example of lamellar phased cream. Third one is cream containing liquid nanoparticle, so W by O cream, some more occlusive, that comes under cream containing liquid nanoparticle. Next is preparation of creams. So for the preparation of cream, the first step, preparation of oil bases. So for the preparation of oil bases, we take powder or flake ingredients that are dispersed in mineral oil or silicone oil, and heating may required for melting. Second one is hydration of aqueous phase. So in this step, emulsifiers, stabilizers, thickeners that are dispersed in water, that are heating may required for hydration. And the third one is third step, forming the emulsion. So two phases are blended under vigorous agitation and dispersion of active ingredients. So by these 4 steps, first one is preparation of oil phases, next step that is hydration of aqueous phases, and third one is forming the emulsion, and last dispersion of active ingredient. So by this 4 steps we can prepare creams. Evaluation of cream, the first parameter, that is rheology. So rheology, or you can say viscosity, that should remain constant after the preparation, and rheologic measurement are utilized to characterize ease of pouring from bottle, squeezing from tube or container, maintaining product shape in a jar or after extrusion, rubbing the product onto the skin, and viscosity can be measured using viscometer used for such liquids. Next parameter, that is sensitivity. So as various type of ingredients that are used with occasionally used of antiseptic, hormones, so there is a possibility of sensitization or photosensitization of the skin. So in that case, that should be tasted before the hand, and this test is normally done by patch test on skin and can be either open or occlusive. So the test sample is applied along with a standard market product at different places, and effect is compared after a period of time after applying on the skin. Next one is effect of thermal stresses. So it is usual to evaluate the stability of an emulsion by subjecting it to high and to low temperature in altering cycles. So the samples are first exposed to 60 degrees Celsius for a few hours and then to 0 to 40 degrees Celsius. So such exposures are repeated number of time and emulsion, so stability assessed after each cycle. And the last parameter, that is phase separation. So in that cases, the rate and degree of phases separation in an emulsion, it can be easily determined by keeping a certain amount in a graduate cylinder, and after that measuring the volume of separated phase after defined time interval, and phase separation may result from creaming or coalescence of globules. So the phase separation test must be accelerated by centrifugation at a low speed or moderate speed. Third category and semi-solid preparation, that are gels. So gels are homogeneous, clear, semi-solid preparation consisting of dispersion of small or large molecule in an aqueous liquid vehicle. So rendered jelly-like formation by addition of gelling agent. Gels are aqueous colloidal suspension of hydrated form of insoluble medicament which is used for medication and lubrication. For the preparation of gel, we use gelling agent. So among gelling agent used, synthetic macromolecules like carbomer 934, cellulose derivative like carboxymethyl cellulose or hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose. So natural gums like tragacanth we can use as gelling agent in preparation of gels. So two phases are there, single phase and double phase, or you can say domain. So in single phase, gels in which the macromolecules are uniformly distributed throughout a liquid with no apparent boundaries, and between dispersed macromolecule are the liquid, and the liquid usually involve organics. The first image that is of a single phase, and this is the second image for domain mosaic model, where when the gel mass consists of floccules of small distinct particles, so usually it involves inorganic. So this is the difference in single phase and domain phase. Single phase involves organics and domain phase involves inorganics. Kind of gels, so various kinds available in market like controlled release gels, bioadhesive gels, organogels, extended release gel, amphiphilic gels, hydrophilic gels, complexation gel, and thermosensitivity sol gel, reversible hydrogel. Last is evaluation of gel. So first parameter is drug content. 1 gram of gel was accurately weighed in 50 ml of volumetric flask, to which 20 ml purified water was added in it, and with continuous shaking. Adjust the volume mixture of 10% methanol in water and absorb of the solution with a blank was measured in 360 nanometer using UV spectrophotometry. Next parameter, that is measurement of pH. So for that, digital pH meter we can use for determination of measurement of pH. So 1 gram of gel was dissolved in 100 ml of distilled water and stored at 4 degrees Celsius for 2 hours. Third parameter, that is viscosity. So for measurement of viscosity, we can use Brookfield viscometer, which is used for determination of viscosity. Gels are filled in jar, and spindle was lowered perpendicularly, taking care that spindle do not touch bottom of the jar. So spindle was rotated in the gel that are increasing shear rate like to 0.5, then 1, then 2.5, and then 5 RPM. So at each speed the corresponding dial rating was noted. Next parameter, that is spreadability parameter. So a modified apparatus are consisting 2 glass slides containing gel in between with the lower slide fixed to a wooden plate, and the upper one was attached to a balance by a hook, and it was used to determine spreadability. And the last parameter, that is extrudability. So a simple method was adopted for determination of extrudability in terms of weight in grams, which is required to extrude a 0.5 centimeter ribbon of gel in 10 seconds from the collapsible tube. So these all are the examples of ointment, creams, and gels which are easily available in the market. So this is all about semi-solid preparation, semi-solid dosage form. Thank you.